Are you burnt out, feeling like your life is consumed with work? Do you wish you could figure out how to have your business run and make money while you only checked in and had most of your time to yourself to do whatever you wanted to do? This concept was made popular by the Tim Ferris book, The 4-Hour Workweek. But I'd like to share in this video how I executed and made this work for my business and myself. Okay, so funny story, I actually have the book literally right here. I did take the cover off, like the jacket. I don't really like the jacket on books. But yeah, this is the book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferris. He wrote this a long time ago. I want to say it came out 2013-ish. If you've already read it, let me know in the comments below, but if you've read it or not, this video is still gonna have a ton of new information, useful information, because I'm gonna talk with you about not only what I learned from this book, but also what I've actually implemented and what it looks like for me. I don't actually have a 4-hour work week, like 4 hours, but I do work 3 hours per day. Hey there, my name is Molly Kaiser and I'm an online course creator who's done over $7 million in online course sales. And today I help people just like you to turn your passion into your very own profitable online course. And if you're interested to learn a little bit more about this concept of the 4-hour work week and how I put it into place for my business and myself, whether you've read the book or not, then go ahead and give this video a like. And if you're excited to learn even more about making money online, working less, building a business, maybe even a course business, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button because I come out with videos just like this one every Tuesday. Okay, so what is the 4-hour work week? I believe he actually came up with the title of the book, 4-Hour Work Week, just simply by doing testing. I think he wanted to call it like 2-hour work week and his publishers wanted to call it like 20-hour work week or whatever. I don't remember. I heard about this somewhere, maybe it was his podcast, about the title. So for me, the concept isn't like you have to work 4 hours a week in order for this to be like the concept, right? No, I think it's just about like working less and being just more precise about what you're working on, not wasting time, and really making your life about the things that you want it to be about and not making your life about work. I think there's too much hustle culture out there that's like making people feel like they need to be obsessed with work, working 24/7 all the time, you know, to be successful. And that's just not the case. And I also think that that's a really toxic mentality. So again, if you've read this book and if you are like me and you're like anti-hustle culture, go ahead and leave me a comment below. What is a 4-hour work week? Essentially, you know, again, I believe it's just deciding on how much you want to work and not living by society's standards, saying you have to work 8 hours a day, you have to work, you know, 9 to 5, you have to do these things, you can only be free on weekends. Look, if you're a business owner, you can dictate your schedule however you want it to be. So just to kind of sum up the book here, and I just listened to it again. I've actually read this book probably like 4 or 5 times. I just listened to the audio again. So I'm gonna do my best to sum it up, but if you're like, Molly, this is wrong, or I think you missed this or whatever, feel free to leave me a comment below. But for me, the book is all about how Tim had this supplement company and it sounds like he was really stressed out, running himself into the ground. I think he said he had like 300 or 400 employees, which blows my mind and makes me want to puke. Like that is just like, wow, I can't imagine the amount of stress with that. I'm sure he made a ton of money with his supplements company though, which is great. And I know he looked at like, okay, what do I need to do to make this happen? What do I need to do to take myself out of the business? I don't think he gives like exact details. I'm assuming he put some key employees in place. But one of the things he does talk about is utilizing virtual assistants or VAs. And I know he talks about getting really clear on your SOPs, your standard operating procedures, like giving really clear directions to the VAs that you hire, and they can help take a lot of things off your plate. So I know that is one of the things that he talks about. He talks about hiring VAs from India, I believe, and he does share like a specific website where to hire them. I don't remember what it was called. I do know that he was able to really get his business a lot more automated, and then he was able to travel a lot. And I believe he said it was really more like a 2-hour work week where he would just check in every single morning with his phone, and his VA would do a lot of stuff like, oh, check in with this person, or, you know, go through his emails or whatever that is. And the business would essentially run a lot without him, and he would just check in on the business. Okay, so for me, I want to start out with saying, where do I think your business should be before attempting a 4-hour work week? Again, I don't work 4 hours a week, but I do work 3 hours a day. This is by choice. You know, I want to work 3 hours a day. I do enjoy certain things in my business. So, you know, I want to spend 3 hours a day recording YouTube videos, or 3 hours a day perfecting perfecting my program, different things like that, right? So I'll tell you about my exact schedule and how I've created it. But again, let's talk about where your business should be before attempting this. So I do believe that your business should have a solid, repeatable sales system that brings you in sales consistently before you attempt to do this. I don't think it's smart for anyone who's like, I'm gonna start a business, and they quit their job and they just have their business idea and then they're like, I'm gonna work 4 hours a week. Like, that is not realistic. You're gonna need to put in some time in the beginning of your business to really build that solid foundation. If you don't have a method to bring you in consistent sales, like I think Tim was using like paid ads to bring consistent sales and his team was running it, right? For me, one of the methods that I use is webinars, live webinars, and automated webinars. And if I didn't already have that consistently converting, I wouldn't be working just 3 hours a day. In the beginning, I was able to work minimal hours because I've already done webinars successfully for the last decade. But when you're just starting and you're beginning, it's gonna take more effort in the beginning to get that webinar going and get it converting consistently. Once you have like a solid foundation for your business and you have repeatable methods to grow your following and bring in sales, then yes, then I do think that it is smart to put this into place, because it's so easy to get wrapped up and really overwork yourself, because you really can work as much as you allow yourself. There's always going to be more work, right? Okay, so now let's talk about the steps that I took to really put into place this 4-hour work week, or this 3-hour work day in my case. Okay, so one of the things I did was, obviously first I built the foundation for this business. I built a consistent sales system so I know where the sales are coming from and all that great stuff. I also went ahead, and the first thing I did was I actually documented every single thing I was doing in the business with SOPs, which stands for Standard Operating Procedure, which is basically a fancy word for a checklist. I went ahead and made a Word document called something like Business Directions or How to Run My Business. I don't remember what I called it. And inside of the document, I have links to SOPs for every single part of the business. So here's where all the marketing SOPs are. Here's all the customer service and HR SOPs. Here's all these SOPs, these SOPs, these SOPs. And you might already know, but my husband and I run this business together. We're 50-50 partners. So he actually made half the SOPs. I made half the SOPs. So I did the ones for the stuff that I do, and he made the ones for the stuff that he does, of course. So once I had everything well documented, then I had to look at, okay, where am I going to find help, and who am I going to put in place to run all of these SOPs? And actually, I need to add that before I created all the SOPs, like I said, I built the foundation for my business, and I made sure that it was a simple foundation, okay? Simple scales, complexity fails. So I made sure that I had a simple business model, one product, one sales method. Very, very, very simple. And again, then I created all those SOPs, and next I had to decide, where am I gonna find someone to help me to execute these SOPs? So I actually put out a job posting, and a VA agency based in the Philippines reached out to me, and they were like, we can actually help you with all of these tasks, and we start at like $7 an hour. I don't remember what Tim says he paid in the book, but I do know that if you can find overseas VAs, a lot of times it can be cheaper, less expensive because of the exchange rate. That is one of the reasons that this really intrigued me to go with this agency, but also they seemed really professional, and they allowed me to have, I believe it was a 4-hour free trial. So I was able to give them a bunch of tasks, and they would execute however much they could get done in 4 hours. And I was blown away by the work that they put out. It was really good, really well done. They didn't ask me a ton of questions. They followed the SOPs, and they did really good work. So I went ahead, I've been working with this VA agency for a while, and they go ahead and they execute all of my SOPs. So the next thing I did was I really sat down and decided, how many hours per day do I want to work? So I decided that I wanted to work Monday through Friday for 3 hours. So I work from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. And the reason I decided on those hours is because I wanted to be able to do all of my personal stuff before I started work. So what my morning routine looks like is I take the dog for a walk, then I go to the gym, and Aaron usually comes with me. Then I come home and I take an hour to make breakfast, get ready, whatever. Then I sit down at 10 a.m. and I work until 1. Then from 1 to 4, I have me time, whatever I want to use it on. Usually I use this on like getting my nails done, getting a massage, going for a hike, hanging out with friends, whatever I want to do. reading a book, you know. Then at 4 p.m. I take the dog for a walk, come back, we usually cook dinner together, and then I spend some time unwinding, you know, maybe it's a bath, maybe it's a book, maybe it's learning some stuff on YouTube, whatever it is that I feel like doing at the time, right? So I think the things I mentioned in the beginning are really important for setting yourself up to be able to have like a 3-hour work day. But I also think that you do need to be trained in certain skills to be able to accomplish a lot of work in 3 hours. So I think what's really important is to learn a lot about productivity. This is something I've been studying for a really long time. So I'm gonna quickly share with you some of my top productivity tips. So my number one productivity tip is deleting. Deleting. I guarantee you that you can look at your to-do list right now and there's probably a bunch of crap on there that doesn't actually need to get done. You maybe thought it needed to get done when you wrote it down, but if you really look at your business and look at how do I generate sales, right? There might be a lot of stuff in there that's just stuff that like either you want to do or it's filler work and it's not actually gonna move the needle. Focus on what's going to move the needle, okay? The next thing is batching your work. So for example, for pretty much 1 month, I'm just gonna record YouTube videos and then they're gonna be done for 6 to 12 months. So I like to batch my work. Then maybe another month, I'm gonna work on re-recording the entire course. Then maybe another month, I'm gonna work on improving all of our SOPs for driving traffic. You know, whatever that is. You don't wanna spend your day where you're like 10 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 30 minutes here on different projects. You really wanna make sure that you are focused and batching your time, because if you are trying to multitask, you're not actually gonna get that much stuff done. And I actually like to tell people, I can tell how productive somebody is by how many tabs they have open on their browser window. If you're somebody who has like 300 tabs, I can almost guarantee that you are not being productive. The next thing with being productive while working is having no distractions. Turn off your cell phone, turn off your notifications, turn off alarms, go and work somewhere where there's no distractions. Have your own office, go to a coffee shop, rent a freaking hotel if you have to, but make sure that those 3 hours really count. And if you make those 3 hours really count, I can guarantee you that it's probably gonna equal what you normally would have done in an 8-hour workday. Okay, the next thing is plan tomorrow today. This is a concept that I believe comes from a book about productivity. I learned it from one of my past mentors, Sam Ovens, but I went ahead and I got this full focus planner. I've actually been using this for like 4 years now. And what I do is at the end of every work day, I actually plan out my exact next day. So at the end of the workday, I'll plan out my whole next work day and I plan it down to every 30 minutes. That doesn't mean I'm doing something different every 30 minutes. It just means that I have a plan for each 30 minutes within 3 hours of my workday. Okay, now I'm gonna share with you what I think I'm gonna do in the future to reduce my working hours even more. And honestly, it's so simple. It's really just gonna come down to, you know, really refining my SOPs, maybe bringing on more VAs, simplifying what we're doing, getting more productive, just doing less in the business in general. It's not super exciting, but sometimes the boring work is the stuff that works. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about the 4-hour work week and how I was able to implement what I learned from Tim's book and create a 3-hour work day, you might be considering it for yourself. Hopefully this video showed you if you're ready to go about doing that and how to go about doing that. What were some of the things that I did, and hopefully that inspired and motivated you to try and do that less, say no to hustle culture and say yes to having more time to do things in life you enjoy, because we only get one life and we really need to live it up. So if you like this video, go ahead, give it a like. And of course, if you wanna learn more about business and things like that from me, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're wanting to learn more about how to create an online business like I have, I've created an online course business and I've been doing online courses for the last decade, then listen up, because I'm gonna bring down my video and pull up my slides and show you step-by-step how to register for my free on-demand training that's going to show you how to come up with your profitable course idea, how to grow a following for that course, how to sell your course, and how to get started with your own profitable online course. Just go to profitablecourses.com/class. And here it's going to take you to a page where you can sign up for the class. The class is called How to Turn Your Passion into an Online Course That's Profitable from Day One. Even if you're unsure what to teach, feel inexperienced, don't have a following, or you're short on time. We're gonna be covering my profitable idea framework so you can nail down your course idea or ensure the one that you already have picked out will be profitable and get your students crazy good results. I'm gonna be showing you my Post-it Power Hour hour framework so you can create your course content in 1 hour and get your course up and running ASAP. I'm also going to be sharing with you my profitable following framework and how I use it to grow a following from $0 to $17,000 in course enrollments in 30 days, even during the peak of the pandemic. This is super fun workshop. You're gonna get a ton out of it. As soon as you enroll, you're gonna get a bonus of my profitable course Kickstart workbook, and I'm gonna be sending you some additional free training videos so that you can start to get results and help right away. Students have had great results with my teaching, so go ahead, just click any of the pink "Yes, I'd want to attend" buttons. Go ahead and select the date and time that you want. It will ask you to put your time zone, first name, email address, and phone number is optional, and then you can click to register now. I can't wait to see you there.